Hey, thanks. Yeah.
Fáilte de bhula cimar háisih. Is mar féicin sé látaí meach ginin in taine a thorm, agus sé uramór a hán gábí chud fáilte go go tachars gus Mìos nan Gàidheal chud advóg sa bhliaana seo fichid sa Shia. I'd like to welcome you all here. It's wonderful to see you all. And my name is Lewis McKinnon. And it's my great honor to be here to launch Gaelic Nova Scotia Month 2026 along with you. Sé Olwat Ganvias Ambliana Heshin Rain. Our month's theme this year is We Are Resilient. Men chase me at Erst Bevelum Anichug Tíre a gal and dras. So before I go any further, I just want to do a land acknowledgement. Hami Ganichug around and a cheer na migama and a migamagi a hash in cheer guchasach as hinshir na migama. Han cheer shaw ed anichug rohunanton na shia is carches, sa carches, a sound out in Jech wab skriven, na migama agus. Well, last 2 weeks, I couldn't hushach and a shech kiachi ag fikit a koik like kroon na brechtinja. I acknowledge that we are in Migamagi, the traditional and ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is acknowledged through the treaties of peace and friendship, which Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1725. Nudivision chin calwa and Achik and Marshaw, Ekauman and Marshaw, we mishes manuk gabel Nashishidin Akin Calwadrin. And yet Gabby Hain fat that follow boy. When we get together for gatherings like this, and this is a very significant one, I firmly believe that our ancestors are very close. They're not very far at all. I guess. Agus had talichte gevilshin chin cruin calwa that they're happy that we're gathered together. There's an Amir Shah Harachuk. So I would like now at this time Hamilton could falcha aid Ministers and Iomairtean na Gaelic, Dai Ritzy. I'd like to welcome the Minister for Gaelic Affairs, David Ritzy. There's an Gadem Ganvia Shah Adish. So to proclaim the month on behalf of the province. Na Kucha Falcha Ed, Minister Dai.
Well, welcome. So, proclamation for Gaelic Nova Scotia Month, the 30th anniversary. Whereas 2026 marks the 30th anniversary of Gaelic Nova Scotia Month, which is a time to embrace, honor, celebrate, and raise awareness of the language, culture, history, contributions, and achievements of the Gaels across the province. And whereas Gaelic language and culture are integral components of the identity of Nova Scotia, and that Gaels represent one of the earliest non-Indigenous cultural groups to settle in Mi'kma'ki. And whereas new generations of language learners and cultural champions continue to build upon the legacy of Gaelic Nova Scotia's tradition bearers. And whereas government commits to collaborating with Gaelic communities to support the growth of Gaelic Nova Scotia through opportunities for language acquisition, cultural awareness, and capacity building within communities to ensure Gaelic language and culture remain vibrant elements of the living linguistic and cultural landscape of Nova Scotia. So therefore, on behalf of Premier Tim Houston, the Premier of Nova Scotia, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Gaelic Nova Scotia Month in the province of Nova Scotia. Capelette.
Nis the Gaelic. Seach an gáirich da bhílas fichit sa Shia an décheh cean blian a ríchit da Mìos nan Gàidheal sa hana am gus mácha go gúscag mechanan cultúr eachtarí is ard gríomhan nan Gàidheal haar na mádrainneag is na churat ria a glúgáil an ar a chug scaléag agus seach go bhfuil canan is cultúr nan Gàidheal na mpáirstan Búnaiteach daon aine na hápan uaia. Is iad na Gael sé na buinen cultural na húsanach na betráie huinig an an sé na migamai. Agus seach go bhfuil gineolich úra de loch jónsach hi a charan agus sain cultural a chumalára is iad a lentain go tlú rí dílib senachíon na hápan uaia agus seach go bhfuil a rialtas an Gael a bhí a cóoprachag le caiirsnach an Gaelach gus teiche horsta lesachag nan Gael an ápanói rocharaman gus canan máach a cultural agus commas na caiirsnach a hócal a dhéanaan cínteach go mad canan agus cultúr nan Gael nan páirst an berstach de léir sin canan agus cultural a hebéh an ápanói. An an ápanói. Me se tíimechas meach ústein, bríomhara na hápanóia a gera me chéitin, da bhílas fichit sa Shia na bhías gan na Gael an a mádrain na hápanóia. Nis tá na hallach gása a bhí chur an aine gúibh a ríist Iomairtean, could me Gaelic it. I just Gaelicized his surname. That's a great honor, by the way. Could an enya give a sura, san bechen achlan a grang, kusanias a chud ervoke. So it's my great honor to welcome Dave Ritchie, Minister for Gaelic Affairs, to say a few remarks at this, the launch of Gaelic Month.
Well, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Comhairle. As Minister of Gaelic Affairs, I am pleased to take part in this annual event as we unite Nova Scotia's vibrant Gaelic community to celebrate its language and identity through lived culture and heritage. The strength and resilience of the Gaelic community in Nova Scotia is clear. More than a quarter of Nova Scotians are descendants of the Gaels who arrived from the Scottish Highlands more than 250 years ago. The influence of these early Gaels is deeply woven into our province's history and identity. Hash, she, heen, reen. We are resilient. This is this year's theme, reflecting the dedication of Gaelic community members and organizations right across this province. Because of them and the countless others who have gone before them, Gaelic language and culture is being preserved and fostered for present and future generations. Through Gaelic language immersion and cultural arts programs, the song, music, dance, story, foods, and spirituality of the Gaels continue to be shared. This is the 30th anniversary of Gaelic Nova Scotia Month. And the importance of Gaelic's presence is reflected in the incredible work taking place right across this province. Thanks to the guidance and commitment of so many in the Gaelic community, the volunteers, educators, and cultural leaders, Gaelic identity and heritage continue to endure. Our government is committed to supporting the work of the Gaelic community. I want to remind you that today, the government of Nova Scotia will be launching a survey on the impact of Gaelic language and culture in their lives and in their communities. So I encourage you all to fill out this important survey. Thank you to all who have worked hard to make today's launch possible and who champion Gaelic language and culture year-round. Lewis McKinnon is definitely one of those individuals, and I want to recognize Lewis for all of his hard work. I do see some of my colleagues in the crowd, MLA Derek Mumbercat. I did see Krista Gallagher here. There she is, right there. There you go. Thank you, Messi. Yeah, Tapalev. So thank you for coming today. This is a very important day for our Gaelic community. So the Gaelic Nova Scotia Month Planning Committee, and to my colleagues in the Office of Gaelic Affairs, your dedication and passion are so deeply appreciated. Tapalev. Sincere thanks to the Gaelic Council of Nova Scotia for leading the planning of this month, and to Kieran Walker. Kieran is the administrative coordinator for the council, and for his dedication and hard work in getting this month again off the ground, a 30th anniversary. Though unable to be with us today, our gratitude also goes out to John Devine, head of the Office of Scottish Government in Ottawa, for your generous support and partnership in making this celebration and planning for the month a reality. I wish everyone here and all who are joining us virtually and the entire Gaelic community around this beautiful province a very successful and memorable Gaelic Nova Scotia Month. Tapalev, thank you.
Tapalev Gamor, a minister Dai Machritzi, yeah, Shin Ma. Anisht Shay Uramahan Gaza, we could Kieran Machshuli, no Machkanochater, Gaelic Akanya, and Anya Guiv, Mara Horst the minister, and the rest Shay Runera, Ni coordination, Gun Horda, no co-Rutigan. Rianera, Shinohain, Kaleva, Rianera, the Howard and the Gaelic. So it's my great honor to welcome Kieran Walker, the minister just mentioned Kieran, the administrator for the Gaelic Council of Nova Scotia, to offer brief remarks. And could you fetch it, Kieran?
She have a carriage, yeah, no, Tapli Valik, Sunshine Jew, Scooter Fainachne, Mìos nan Gàidheal, chumol suas is Mìos nan Gàidheal a chur bóg. Bhom thort, tang a thort gan a comhairtean, ulig a hagging, Oifis rialtas na Halban in Canada, Cumann an Scots, agus uch Iomairtean na Gaelic is na comhairtean eile sa rialtas. So na blúthaige a had ulig bhí chur ris a bhíos, cuideach cha bhíh sin ann mar ró coiste planigi le aging le Gael Wáidir an Sas. Dúine bhó cóis na Gaelic ball na Gael agus chumann gaiwach a bhela bhór na measc. Tá a leibh se ulig sagn go bhfuil dúine ró an Sas a seo dú taplaí ulig. Ha cór is cirifi cid tagarsan a go leibh am an bliama agus ha imirt margadeach dúlig le aging le a bhís chur spot solas a Gaelic agus cultúr nan Gàidheal réna bhíos, so tapa leis a crochas margadeach bheith an bhaib an bliana san sin a chur rí chéile ar son. Agus dúidir chamíir san rain go bhfuil sé obercrúi nan ginhuichin a ha sin ulig ris mar choirsnach who've afiochig na Gaelic. Agus tá siú sodiad is sin am sa deichdamh Mìos éiríchid, sin ceart. Agus thosaigh seo múscan do ruchaí mí hín. So sé obair an ginhuichin a haun. Agus ha cóir le Gaelic talite bheith mar fáirt sin na groch agus comisiúnáin ris na comhairtean acing bheits a cummal taich ris a choirsnach acing as an am ríteach. Taplaí bhuilig a ríist. Hello, thank you everyone for coming out today to celebrate Gaelic language, culture and identity as we launch Mìos nan Gàidheal, Gaelic Nova Scotia Month. I'd like to thank our partners in the Scottish Government Office in Canada, the Scots Society, the Gaelic Affairs team and all of our government partners there for the immense support they've all contributed to the month. Additionally, we wouldn't have anything without our amazing planning committee who have been with us throughout, which includes representatives from the Gaelic College, the Highland Village and the Antigonish Highland Society. Thank you all very much for what you've put into the month. We'll have over 80 events this year and a marketing campaign that will be spotlighting Gaelic language and culture across the province. And a big thanks to our marketing firm, Vibe, for the work that they did in putting that campaign together. And I also just want to say that it is the hard work of generations that we are all involved with as a community with regard to the revitalisation and maintenance of Gaelic language and culture in the province. As I said in Gaelic and got a few laughs there, this is the 30th anniversary and it started before I myself was born. So I think it landed a bit better in Gaelic, but that's okay. But no, it's clear as we enter the 30th Mìos nan Gàidheal that is true. And it's something that Comhairle Gaelic is happy to be a part of, that work. And we look forward to continuing to support the community in this work as we move forward together. No, again, thank you all. Taplaí Gàidhlig.
Thank you, Kieran. She needed a vown. The Mìos and Chamber, the Mìos Shah So the truth is, I was in the room the day that this month was established back 30 years ago. So, Hami has bow, but a big mention, still alive, as we'd say in Gaelic. She Uramahown at East. Well, Manjin Mishin, Hami Jirach son peeper Harachug, Shaudas Machintashi. Hennikas and Secretary of Vinich me yedig, I guess Gava Purst Green Tubamui at Savashan a gal a total Jawov Ikavarati. agus sé dunne deach gasta ham cúteach bachár go bhí brún, óla bhí brún réis i hiúns. Sé dunne chá a ham and a díadh. Just before I go on the program, I just want to acknowledge George McIntosh, who was our piper outside today and did a few tunes as we did a quick photo with the flag outside, and came at the last minute. And on top of that, he's a great guy, and everybody here should get to know him because he's just a really nice man. Nach Kutchev Tang, the Yodas. Sé orm a hanga ba céir in a brúnid opar Gàidhlig, nó Gàidhligin, agus ha kerst. Agus sé orm a hanga sa bhí cúd Adam Scott, Agav Scott in Gàidhlig. Sé fed sé bauch na Mìos nan Gàidheal sa bhárain, agus sé sealmhaíche a hang cúteach a gríomhachas éice Eastern Tea Room, agus cúteach sé báil in immerst gríomhachas na Gaelic, agus sé dúdach fedella ha gasta. Just my honor to welcome Adam Scott, Gaelic community member, owner of the Eastern Tea Room. If you haven't been there, please go there. His business is also a member of the Gaelic Business Initiative, and another great guy. So Nakucha Falche Agav.
I believe Vashiv Fash ach Eastern Tea Bar and Tanya Mahed. Koyu Kimra Hashivula, Vashivuma. Okay, so Hamierson bring me in Nakerkonian, Akati Barakam Agus ha Nakerkonian a Hastel Mungorst ek Darna Storakam on home bake Kutjoch as she cat eclectics and Tanya Mahed. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the conversation circles that we do at the Eastern Tea Bar in Halifax, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about Mahone Bay as well, which is my second store where I also do these conversation groups. So I started learning the Gaelic about 3 years ago, and originally I had no idea that there was even Gaelic in Nova Scotia. I had zero clue. My family's from Newfoundland, and I was stressed out of my mind. If you own a small business, you'll understand that it can be quite stressful when the money's not coming in, and it rarely does. But I was stressed out, and I was on YouTube one day, and I came across a video, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the name Jason Bond, who's a man from Maine, and I started learning a little bit about the Gaelic, and very quickly fell down a rabbit hole that there was Gaelic alive in Nova Scotia, and that there was the Gaelic Business Initiative, which was available to businesses. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could reach out and get some help there, and maybe I could start a community at my shop. So I started learning, and it's a bit of a selfish story, to be honest, because I really just wanted to learn the Gaelic and use the people from the community to teach me the Gaelic. So I started these conversation groups with the help from the GBI, and genuinely that was a massive help, because it put me, like, personally in a completely different, I could not imagine where my life, I mean, I'm talking at the legislature right now, which is pretty cool. I would never have been doing this had I not learned the Gaelic. So yeah, it's the community has helped me immensely, has helped my business immensely. For brand recognition, people come up the stairs and see the Gaelic on the board, and they say, "Oh, my grandmother used to speak that," or "Oh, I'll hear them talking. I'm down in Mahone Bay, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, I have another store up in Halifax. Are you the Gaelic tea shop?" "Yeah, that's me." I'll say that. Yeah. So it's been immensely helpful for me. And on the flip side of things, though I don't like to talk about this so much, but I think I've helped the community, and I think my company has helped the community a fair bit, because when I started out, there was events that were going on, but they were a little bit few and far between, and as someone who's a bit of an anxious personality, they were kind of hard to get to, and kind of hard to find and figure out about. And I actually tried to show up to one a while back when I first started out, and I couldn't even find anyone in the group. I don't know if the group was happening. I don't know. I just ended up sitting there with a coffee in my hand and hoping that I could hear some Gaelic, but I didn't hear anything. So I started these groups, and they happen every 2 weeks, every Saturday. They've been going on for almost 3 years now, I think. And we have fluent speakers that come through. Kathy Ann McPhee, who I've had the honor of learning under through the bonus bar program. I met her for the first time at my tea shop. She came to a conversation group with Ed McDonald, who was learning under her at that time. Anyway, so not to make a long story of it, but if you guys want to learn some Gaelic, it's free. It's all because of the Gaelic Business Initiative. So come down and learn some Gaelic, learn a couple words. Tapale vulas an acórum a vibrin. Tapale.
Shinno hain agaf mila tang agus had tea ma kutach. So just so you know, the tea is good there as well. Agus ha mi dúlich fan tanya makam céad agaf sé Eastern Tea Bar, Clevan. Mun change me first a leisure program. Bevalam ha putting on na rutan hamishatíanig an an tadidiv díanig gun skippa erde agus ha skippa fírva akamas a shaw ha Shannon nich idjevud agus ha Kelly Leach gaking agus dunya nachel karin nachel karin Jew sé ian mach cloud agus ha mitidach amirson me hier hang a horst guiv agus de ian san a whole teiche se betorst gansa agus gan vinishter agus gan hirtesen ha chin an rein akin kutach So I couldn't do the things that I do without an amazing team, and I have that amazing team. I have Shannon McMullen here, Kelly Schley here, and Ian McLeod, who isn't able to be with us today, but will be at the launch in Mabu later this week. Just exceptional colleagues, and who support me, support our minister, support the assistant to the minister, MLA McPorry, and support requests from our department on an ongoing basis. So my sincere thanks to each of you for all that you do for us and for our team. Tapal of Comhairle. Hai sé urim dé a haun a bí cud fáilte ed an áid a sin iad a bhí nar caratin fat cáras déich bliana a ríchat a min cínteach ba aineach ba mi áwachid cyú ho fat sin. Agus inse mi neach vectui ba cainach am Bernie Cameron hanach estaig an kitchenach in náwic na de ba mi gutje seach bliana díag. Sva cádi ma braid. Agus basan e chidig as an cheang dúich. Agus sé ba mi smynach gyda rockstar a bawn yn Bernie. Ba mi smynach gyda rynach a bawn. Jydach ba chomod na mi chewn agus ba mi smynach nach ma rhain yn dunya sin. Agus a misir son a fi cotterish yn dunya seo. Agus rhain mi ma yichel a Bernie ach how na woch Gaza. So it's my great honor to introduce to you, it's a special honor to introduce Bernie Cameron. I've known Bernie for longer than 30 years, but the little story that I wanted to share with you is when I was about 17, he came into our kitchen in Antigonish County when I was living at home, and he was a friend of my brother's, and he came in, and he had just gotten back from Scotland, and he had done kind of an immersion over there and traveled around, and I thought he was a rock star. I thought he was just the best thing that ever graced the door of our house, and I still hold him in that high regard, and he's a hero in my mind, and sé Udamahound be Cud Bernie and Anya Guiv and Jew Hain. It's a great honor to introduce Bernie to you today. So, na Cud Fache Bernie Cameron.
Tapal het Lottie. She'll honor gans a vi ner meska shaw son Mìos nan Gàidheal chud vog. Smisha Bernard Cameron ma de horse Lottie agus swanyo gakam she Bernie machgawat ad yik an aus ad Allen. Agus Sambar sin ag go thuladúne a séns a seo se patronymic a hain. Ach cúiú iad látaí orm fachúna Gàidhlig mé dé hachad tuhastáí dé bliana a ríchad an a háisi sin seo agus bheit mí smuine a bheith 10 úr acah. I'm Bernard Cameron, as Lottie said, and I just gave my patronymic there before. Bernard, son of Sandy, son of Johnny, son of Alistair, which is a very Gaelic way of naming yourself. Lottie asked me to say a few words about what has happened in the 30 years since Mìos nan Gàidheal started, and I asked him, I thought to myself, do you have a couple of hours? Because a lot of things have happened. So this will be an abridged edition of that. And I wasn't sure if you wanted me to sort of talk a bit about personally to me, or was it in general, because I think a lot of people had that information. Some of these things are personal for me. So I lived away for quite a few years, but I became a teacher, and I was teaching away in the north, and finally my wife and I came home, and my first job when I came back home to Nova Scotia was because I spoke Gaelic. So I was fortunate enough to be able to teach Gaelic in the schools, and that's one of the things I wanted to highlight a little bit about, that Gaelic I think now is taught in maybe 9 schools in the province, and one of those schools is a Gaelic immersion school. Maybe somebody's going to talk about that later today, but we have one right in Mabo. But a couple of the other things I'm very proud of is that I was able to raise my own children in Gaelic, and that would not have happened without that sort of safety, that network that we have. And of course, my parents were Gaelic speakers, and they were obviously a big help themselves, and my wife. But there was a lot of help within the community itself and with the programs. And one of those programs, of course, was Gaidhlig, the Young Heroes program, which is held at the Gaelic College. And I think I noticed a few people here who were part of that program, or at least a few people whose children are part of that program. Another thing I was thinking about was the Gaelic methodology that we've started quite a while ago now. I don't know how many years now, Lottie, but it's quite a few. And that enables us to have Gaelic within the communities, and with people speaking, teaching Gaelic. We call them Gaelic sessions instead of Gaelic school, just to remove maybe that stigma a little bit. But it's a lot of people, adults, learning Gaelic through that program. I don't know what the numbers are, but I guess probably now there are over 2,000 Gaelic speakers in the province. I could be mistaken on that, but I think at the time before that started, there were probably maybe 300 or so. I'm not sure. But couple of you notice I'm wearing a hoodie here, and I notice a few people here were involved in the program Kawakainj. And I was able to do a little bit of teaching or mentoring, if you want, at that program as well. So I was very excited about that. So I just wanted to say there are a lot of opportunities have come up over the years, with a very small budget, but I think we've done very well being able to spread the language, and I'm very proud of that. And my children are starting to give back, just as I see other people's children are. They're starting to do a little bit of tutoring or being involved in the community, so they're paying it forward. Lastly, I guess I just wanted to say that Gaelic, of course, has a vital role in the whole province, but especially in the smaller communities, and we were able to have lots of gatherings, things like where I come from in Mabo, we have of course, the night classes going on, but we also have other programs going on, like the Comhairle program, which is the office, of course, helps us a lot with being able to fund that program itself. So, Caillou, now nach sin acum, sin galaura shins, agus Bahalam Jidach har Skyve, son and Corum Shaw, agus Bahalam Grind, Suas or Gaelic. Okay, thank you.
Míle taing Bernie, sin erachgal, agus gama pongal kuchach taing bór. Nis bí áir an Gaelic acin, ha min dachas, cata below Urachi, below Jeshel. Amir sin, Modachug chud an anya gaibh. Sé tidach fed comasach an an ceol agus an a séin modachug agus tidach gutje an you listen to Howerson's gan nísmi gaibach how would it be art over and second county imig Cowan chains how tidach it added it Malwag and how Gina who've kale was Ulishian. So it's my honor to introduce to you Modachug, or in English Bradley Murphy, and who's going to sing a Gaelic song. But I just want to acknowledge Bradley's musical pedigree, his singing, just fantastic, and has graced many stages and has really achieved some exceptional, that's going to sound very exceptional achievements. Shanekaba. Modachi. Nachutje Fatje.
Well, I'll just share something about the music and how the importance of music in Gaelic culture is that it's really the treasure. One of the main treasures of the people is their language and their songs. Thinking about my own ancestors who came over, really didn't have much as far as worldly possessions or money when they came here, but what they did have was their songs and their connections to one another and their language, and those are the riches. Those are the buildings, that's the architecture of the culture, the paintings that you might see in other cultures. Like we see behind us, that might be a way that another culture expresses their wealth. But for the Gaels, it's really the song. So it's an honor to be able to learn this language, to have the community here to really learn the language, to be able to access the songs, to be able to share them. So I don't know if folks feel like coming up and joining me for a song, or yeah. This is a song from the North Shore, Patachatua. It's a milling song, and it's a love song. So if you catch on to the chorus of it, I'll teach it. I'll sing it. I'll sing it once and then break it down so you can sing it with. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora hua nindun nindam. Oh, you got it already. Usaberin resha gruach, aksnesher varnas tuaga shalach. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora hua nindun nindam, usaberin resha niyan, ahukula kriyach ansa. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Usaberin rimoljanen smirit shanachna ropen. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora hua nindun nindam, sanindam avrayik halye hulin kalya letis kanar. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Sanindam avrayik lehel astoye hamisha peranach. Rua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora rua nindun nindam, ansavatin hechendut vagar duskagantai shana chora. Rua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Spoyagan ferek moldanan, smirit shanachna ropen. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora hua nindun nindam, hiririyu nindam voya. Ora hua
Aburachi, Balu Jeshalerson, Gutcha Portion, Gaelic. So it be in the come a lot in the Tangboard, and the whole of Donya Henny Canoas. Thanks to all who came up. That's the neat part about being in a Gaelic gathering sometimes. Those who come up to sing are almost as large as the audience itself, so it's I guess Gutcha Hofatsa ha Muruchu Gutchinik Jeshala Shaw, Bavelam Jidach Nada Horst Ed Naposter in the Hacking and Bliana. I guess Rutta ha Sauricha Gansa Kayu, Shays Ganduch and Cotam and Poster Etter Henkachug Huna Vigama. So one thing that's significant and I think very, very important in my view is that we have our poster this year translated into Mi'kmaq. And so we have a Mi'kmaq and Gaelic version. Mi'kmaq is Gaelic, Mi'kmaq is Gaelic is Berla, I guess Gaelic is Frankish. So we have Gaelic in English and Gaelic in French posters. Yeah, Taplik Moor.
I'm going to share with you Porsche na Hela at an Trai, na Hafachwa Naked for the Tushan Kawaru. This is the song of the swan on the beach. And the chorus to it goes like this. Give-y go, give-y go, give-y go, give-y Mo chasendu, smihing leya. Give-y go, give-y go, give-y go, Chreachach monet, smihin and edin. Give-y go, give-y go, give-y go. Lovely. Yeah.
Napla Gamor, Purachi, Hachomaga Velocarding. I guess I should be. I guess has she shown a Mac Shane? Yeah, that was fantastic. Murachug, Tangbor, thanks so much. And you guys are really good to sing, by the way. Can we do another flag, but everybody can sit and just wave, and maybe we can get some folks nice and high and lots of energy. Maybe look that way. Maybe look that way. Tapalif, tapalif, tapalif. Chléfa. Hashin a tjena Gàidhlig ach nisht bevalum could Seamus Donawach dunja Gastella agus fed ha edavi torsteich Caudish an oped ik ballen en gael die Kawa Kaintje Bernard Cameron torst immerged Kawa Kaintje in de bataille agus een bekken achlin mun hoophaarstiges had we aan at the ballen and gael agus office immersed in the Gaelic. We'd like to welcome Seamus MacDonald, another Gashgach, another hero in our community, and someone who has worked to help support the Kawa Kaintje initiative that Bernard Cameron had mentioned in his remarks on the partnership that has been established between Ballan and Gael, the Highland Village Museum, and the Office of Gaelic Affairs. Now, could you fache Seamus? Please welcome Seamus.
Tapalif, Wamagwif. Well, mer horst lati is Mr. Seamus Donalachs, ha mi gobiag Ballan and Gael, me studichet na Gaelic. Agus hai na holacag mór gan a bhí conwarif in Jews, betalam tang a horstgan, nyoin a chur a washa a di chéile, mar an tang. Fad cor is trifiget liana ha Ballan and Gael a bhí brasnachog, agus a mínachog canon, ectri, agus dúchas nan Gaelch anna awapanuai. Agus ha jogrún de frágaming aking, mestar savala, a ha fiachan í teich a host, de logiúnsach na Gaelic. Ach máisih cultach rím hín, go tá bísih trí go cúineachug agus is smúnsin éad na duine a chail sin, chad na blianachin. Na seanneoin a bheit ho cúineach, ho misnachal agus dewnach Gaelic a bhrín. Ach ag I hairstown, a cadamin agin in Jew nach ro agin a hiún ficad bliana. Agus an Jew bevalum brín began man opich hasin idivirisha gavala conwari carachin ag office immerston na Gaelic. So my name is Seamus MacDonald and I work as the Manager of Culture and Language at the Highland Village Museum in Iona, Cape Breton. And I'm very pleased to be with you here today to help launch Gaelic Awareness Month in Nova Scotia and talk a little bit about some of the work we're doing at the Highland Village in collaboration with the Office of Gaelic Affairs. And I'd like to offer my full thanks to everybody who played a part in organizing this wonderful event today. For more than 60 years, the Highland Village has been preserving and interpreting the language, history, and heritage of the Scottish Gaels in Nova Scotia. And among our diverse programming are a good many initiatives that are focused on supporting Gaelic. Now, if you're like me, you will often find yourself thinking back on people we've lost in our community through the years. Tradition bearers who were kind, encouraging, and always so willing to speak Gaelic. But it's also true that we have opportunities today that we didn't have 20 years ago, and a new generation of tradition bearers coming along. And today I'd like to say just a couple of words about an exciting example of one of these wonderful initiatives that we've completed this year. A collaboration between Ballan and Gael, between the Highland Village and the Office of Gaelic Affairs, Kawa Kaintje, or Language Haven, has been designed to support and enhance immersion programming using the Gaelic Icbala methodology in Nova Scotia. And as one of its first priorities, we hosted a 4-month-long intensive immersion called an Addy, the Shieling. 10 participants took part in that immersion, learning and living together at a residence in Richmond County. This was an exceptional opportunity to learn Gaelic and the first of its kind in North America. Suffice it to say, we're all very proud of everybody who took part, instructors, learners, and organizers alike. And we believe that the results speak for themselves. And for that reason, I think we'll leave it to Jude Sampson to fill in some of the other details. One of the participants in that program, and I believe Jude is going to talk a little bit about their experience at Enadi. Tapaloof.
Think bhag éifeach le duine mar thóir Séamus sé Jude Sampson na Chadam agus bha me se fudach ag gnádi fa céir bhís an blian na seo. Agus sé program féad bha a bhain bha becin de Gaelic ach run an program agus bha séimach sa Gaelic ach anis this Joey an Adi ha céó ach leis cairsnachas an canan as an cultúr an an dói nach raachgam. Agus Jón sich ní má chucht Gaelic an an dói Gaelic balla ag an Adi as sé ma vedal sa a haun gyd é sin an dói na séad is na sása bhí Jón sa chug an canan mar sin as ha mi ho tango go mi an is ha like sitting on brain Gaelic a show ha some give ha some give pilak am hast reunion sa chug ach ha mi a show a brain rave sa Gaelic as some brain an canon ac ma hin shit and this shit brut mode ha sin So, as Seamus said, my name is Jude Sampson, and I was a participant in the 4-month program in Adi this year. And I had a bit of Gaelic before going to the program, and I had an interest in Gaelic, but after in Adi, I now have this access and this connection to this community and this language and culture in a way that I didn't before. And I learned the majority of my Gaelic in this method of Gaelic Akbala at Enadi, and in my opinion, I think that's the best way to be learning this language. And I really see programs like Enadi and the work of Cowakainch being what really pushes us forward in this community and grows our Gael talk here. And I know that I still have much to learn in the language, and I'll always be learning, and I'm very excited about that. But I think it's a very big thing that I was here today speaking to you guys in Gaelic and the language of my ancestors, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if it weren't for Enadi. So.
Cóin Ewan of Gal Parstown on the program shin. Get that? So these are some of our graduates from Enadi, Cowakainch. So would you could you Bosch and Michaela Erinson, would you please acknowledge them? Yeah, Tubestein na hafisha a sin go forsnach go Shannon nicht gedebüt. Asas go mór an sa program agus Enadi agus who've planach a gis a holishian tidach Hajian tang and grach Shannon there's an holishian a rhino tangbord or some holishian. Shannon McMullen in our office was involved heavily in the delivery of the program and supporting its planning from day one, so we're very, very grateful for all that you've done, Shannon, and thanks isn't enough, but tapalak gamor, tapalak okri. Well, hasn't chin gukri, agus bevelam jidachar cushion, ik television na parliament bike agus ag cánatrug de rialtas na hall an óia, Anichug agus Tanga Horscaibh san na hula sían, agus san cóise jinnig Anya Gaelic Affairs be jinnig kainch na waben, a sense. So I just want to acknowledge our colleagues at Ledge Television and communications with the government of Nova Scotia, and our interpreter here, our sign interpreter today, for all of their support. Na kutshiv falcha out of Agustang. Falcha Agustang. Het took me at the haarig me ik in Tashach go down it hietwa in Haitian of his klechki and sorry shake na dilnyakin. Because hast and an all nooit all mach it hietwa in Haitian wa bu je belting agus be it a trusig na jacht had a visit in Tolv agus could he chin ed an earthen agus by kretje vown big shit gan kummel og agus swan agus hashens bria agus by klechginella an kotadi uske kosrichtje for the big kutjiken benachugnen tayanach agus holotunis na tayan solishian. So I didn't note at the beginning that on May 1st, our special day, our special cultural day, that we have practices of our people that are really go back to time immemorial. And a couple of those are the practice of collecting the dew in the morning on May 1st. And you collect the dew, and the belief is that you put the dew on your face, and it can heal you, it can keep you young and beautiful. So you might want to try. Some of us may want to try. The other practice is the blessing with holy water of the home and the people in the home and so on. In that spirit, I want to leave you with this, and then we're going to have a Gaelic song to finish off. And this comes from one of our treasured archives, which is Carmina Gadelica, and it's a dúrach, a good wish. So Mìos nan Gàidheal sha horskuiv. Nerst awen guiv, nerst mara guiv, nerst boy warach, nerst chenya guiv, nerst bera guiv, nerst karak wajer. Nerst dolwa guiv, nerst kura guiv, nerst roon nan Iomairtean. Yours be the might of the river, yours be the might of the ocean, the might of victory on field. Yours be the might of fire, yours be the might of lightning, the might of the strong rock. Yours be the might of the elements, yours be the might of the hero. Yours be the might of love on high. Apple of Gamod or Sanchi, agus tapel of Ganyewan had to be quiet. Bew, Loina, thank you so much for coming, and thanks to all those who are watching online. Be stru pakaking, has swag down, and your Gaelic Affairs swag, va fachalaka Fed of life, a swag I had to be agus bistro pakaking. So we have swag outside. Please take some. Don't be shy. Everybody's shy here. I don't know why. Wave your flags. Be proud, and take that stuff with you. And we have strupak. We have tea, coffee, and snacks. And particularly for my colleague from African Nova Scotian Affairs who's with us today, make sure you get the snacks. We're going to have a Gaelic song to finish off, and we're going to invite our minister up to sing with us as well. So, and you listen, but could me you and Enya going to hold it on you now? Goed, aus acho, Enya Eus mach Joe Murphy, she Bao na Connors na Gaelic Affairs sé Shanachí a Haun Shanyatar Sar Henyatar agus Joe Harridge. So, nach kuch foutje outside the legal oren, agus ashen could foutje dunjas be hasen chin and was. So, would you welcome Joe Murphy? He's going to share a Gaelic song to wrap up the program, and we're going to invite anyone who'd like to come up and join us. Haplik Roll.
Wendy, ik call it, Go ahead now. Judd, ik call it, Yeah, go ahead now. A hit? Joe, Jen on a hit. Yeah. That's Joey. Keir Mìos nan Gàidheal. Shut up. Okay. Smack and B. All right, we're going to do a song. It's an old country song. And when people, Gaelic speakers, refer to something from Anshaun Dúis, the old country, they're referring to the fact that it's a song that came over from Scotland or from Ireland or the Isle of Man. And so that's what this is. And it's a song from Dunvegan, which is a little place in the Isle of Skye. And there's also a Dunvegan in Cape Breton, so it's very popular. It's certainly at our house because it's in the same parish where my wife grew up. So feel free to join in with the group because it won't be long catching on to the chorus. And what is it about? It's a love song about this man, and what is his... he's singing to his sweetheart, and when he's listening to the birds twittering on the trees, they're whispering her name in his ear. And when he plays on the pipes, every note that comes through his fingers is singing sweet praises of Morak or Sarah. And he says, I will build for my sweetheart a little place down by the shore, and we'll be happy there forevermore, or words to that effect. All right. So here we go. Achadin no cantuk mi woi, ma voan hudi boy, skossen kajer mi samoy, moi mi mo vorak. Ovans na ovano, ovans na gihoro, ovans na ovano, spiritum avora. Nur fer mi skrib gu porstandun, Chimi vai onska flur, spinna helm a pritorium, a shir voar morak. Ovans na ovano, ovans na hihoro, ovans na ovano, spiritum avora. Toki mische domagrai, bohanpik ritur na trai, sandon vekker na sjots nam floin, posi mi movorak. Ovans na ovano, ovans na gihoro, ovans na ovano, spiritum avora. Ovans na ovano, ovans na gihoro, ovans na ovano, spiritum
Sin ac yn program o'r yn tangus yn Chine, agus suas leis na Gael, agus suas le Mìos nan Gàidheal. Thanks so much for coming. Here's to the Gaels and here's to Gaelic Nova Scotia Month in our province.